Hi there, I'm Miriam and welcome to Miriam's Manor. Today, you guys, I have a question and answers and comments video for you guys. So some of these are just going to be beautiful comments that I wanted to share that you guys have left with me. They will also be answers to some of your questions, as well as some of the feedback that you guys have actually suggested to me. So I am going to start with the video that I posted first last week, which was me outside planting a new flower bed and creating a new small little garden space. So Lloyd G left me this comment. Hi Miriam, that was so much hard work. I hope your efforts pay off. I've seen some dry ground in my time, but not like that. I keep thinking to myself, that can't really be her backyard, can it? Yes, that is my backyard. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We have so many areas of our yard that are not yet complete, some that we have completed that we are thoroughly enjoying, and then also projects like this that are still in process. So next up is Terry Johnson. She says, hi Miriam, I just stumbled across your page. I enjoyed this video and will be subscribing. Thank you, Terry, and welcome. With you being in the desert, would it be easier to make a container garden? That seems like a lot of work moving those rocks. You made me tired. I actually do put some of my flowers and things like that in pots outside. However, I do love growing things in the ground here. It's not impossible to do. It is a lot of harder work up front. I also try to plant things that are going to be lower maintenance for me as well. So the first round of trees and things like that that I put in were all things that I did not have to change or amend the soil for. The oleanders, pygmy date palms, the ficus trees, and all of my trees and larger shrubs, the ones that I planted are very well adaptable to the Arizona more alkaline soil and the clay dirt that we have. So those are thriving and doing well. But some of my more prettier, smaller garden spaces, I do want to be able to plant those beautiful florals that just add such a soft elegance to the landscape. Those are the ones that do require a little bit more work, but that's why those are done in smaller spaces throughout my yard and not over the entire yard. And then you will see over time, definitely me adding some more potted things, because that also just does make it easier, and me running drip in my pots and just having those be self-contained. So Shirley Edset says, hi, you hard worker. You've got to come to the Pacific Northwest to cool off. Yes, ma'am. I cannot wait to get out there. If you haven't done so, you absolutely have to watch Monty Don on Gardener's World. He is in England, but he talks about all sorts of climates and soil types. Since you have a love for English gardens. Now, Shirley knows this because we talked a little bit about this kind of privately. You will love Monty. Over here, it's broadcast on BritBox or BBC America. I actually did find him on YouTube, but the ones that I did find, he was only interviewing other people in their gardens at that time. So I'm still searching for some regular episodes of his, but what I did see was magnificent. So for those of you who also do love to garden and love to glean inspiration ideas, check out Monty Don as well. Twinkie G says, hey Miriam, you have some very pretty plants. Thank you very much. The area turned out quite nicely, but baby, almost at 10-minute marker of the video, I wanted to jump through the screen and throw water on my sister and maybe a little Gatorade down your throat because you started sounding like you were about to pass out. You really put in some hard work for that flower bed, but just look at the beautiful results though. You really did an amazing job, sis. Thanks for sharing again and stay blessed. Thank you so much, Twinkie. And yes, you guys, there was a point where I was like, okay, you have got to call it quits. I am the type, I will work and work and work until a project is done. But I stopped, I took a break when the hottest part of the day kicked in, and then I went back at it a little bit towards the evening hours when the sun was starting to set because it was a lot of work. Robin Wright says, Miriam, isn't it a little late in the season to be planting new flowers? Most gardens plant new flowers in March or April. Yes. And I actually did mention that in the video. It is very late in the season to be planting. And I did say, I know that I'm pushing the envelope with even trying to plant these in June. However, March and April, I was unable to do these things physically. I am finally doing better where I am at a point where I have so much more energy and I'm feeling so much like myself again. So I was excited to finally tackle a project that has been on my list for almost a year. I wanted to actually do this last fall, but wasn't able. So it was finally exciting just to add some more pretty to my backyard. And plants and flowers make me happy and they bring me so much joy. And it was honestly as much hard work as it was also exciting at the same time because I knew it was a means to an end. So I really enjoyed putting it in there. Joan Fidel says, hi Miriam, your garden is so beautiful. I love the colors. My mom once told me to turn the teeth of the rake upwards when moving some stones. And she was right. It was much easier for me. Thank you so much, Joan, for this tip and this advice. Because I started off moving half of the rock with just the rake, but then I just went and got a shovel on the back half of it to move the rest. But I did not try flipping the rake over. So I'm going to try that next time and see if the shovel or that is faster, because I do have other areas that I will be creating a little bit later, maybe this year. So I'm definitely going to take your advice and give that a try. So thank you. Let's see. Veronica Val says, wow, Miriam. Now, Veronica is also in Arizona, you guys. So she knows my pain with this heat right now. She says, wow, Miriam, you are brave to be outside planting this weekend. We are in for our first heat wave warning. Did not even stick my nose outside at all, LOL. But your garden is coming along lovely. Thank you so much, Veronica. And Kathleen Harris says, Miriam, you are a brave girl planting that garden in the heat. I hope the plants do well and appreciate your determination. So far, so good, you guys. Some of the plants did suffer a little bit of transplant shock. Mostly the Supertunia vistas that I planted, the cordylines, and the coleus. I do have to say, the coleus are making a comeback. I did provide a shade cloth over them because the leaves were getting sunburnt in this sun. So I allow it some morning sun, and I just rigged up on some T-post a shade cloth. As a matter of fact, I'll pop a picture of it in so you guys can see what I did. And so it's really easy. I just zip tie it closed in the evening, and then I pull the shade back and allow the plants to get some morning sun, and then cover it in the hottest part of the day. And my coleus leaves are definitely making a comeback. The Supertunia vistas, all three of them are beginning to do well and coming back and producing flowers. So I'm really excited. I think everything might be okay. Sonia the Hedgehog says, I am just tired looking at you work. You got stamina, girl. Great job. Can't wait to see how it turns out. But Miriam, 100 plus degrees, bless you. I will try not to complain when we hit the 90s. I do have to say, for those of you who have never been to Arizona, we do not suffer from humidity. So 100 plus degrees for us might not feel the same for those of you who are in humid climates. So although it is very hot, I am not underestimating that, but it does help because we do have a dry heat. So it's not like when you step outside, you're sticky and sweaty right away. You can still kind of stay dry as long as you're in the shade. So the second video I posted last week was unboxing Lemax packages. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was so excited for this. I had actually had that package for about 4 days and hadn't yet opened it. So I was like chomping at the bit. So the first comment was from Steve. I'm going to say Steve Tasnik. Please forgive me if I am pronouncing your name wrong. He says, hi, Miriam. Did you receive these straight from Lemax, as many of those pieces are not available yet? Yes, Steve, I did. Lemax does send me out packages. Now, I am one of their influencers, and they do allow me to pick from a list of items that I can choose from, and then they will send it out to me usually in June or July-ish, so that I can share all of these beautiful things with you guys, so that if they are additions that you want to add to your village, you can already get a good and up close look of them and see how they work. The other thing is, a lot of these items last year and the year before, all of you know the supply chain issues that we've had, and so many people were not able to source the items they wanted. So many of the items were sold out, and a lot of people, you guys let me know last year, so many of you were not able to find the pieces that you actually wanted. So I would recommend getting them early. Dave at eHobby Tools did let me know that he is already accepting reservations for the 2022 line. If you saw anything in there, most of the things that I did show you were from this year's line. You can pay for it in advance, and they will begin to ship them out in August. Also, eHobby Tools will be receiving, after their initial shipment that they've already received, they are going to be receiving, Dave let me know, another 10 containers from July to December timeframe. So even if something shows that it's currently out of stock, there is a good possibility between July and December that it will be back in stock and be able to be shipped and sold. If you don't go through a website that sells these things all year round, like eHobby Tools does, then you really just kind of have to wait until they hit the stores in like October-ish. Like Michael's and things like that will start to put their Christmas Village stuff on the shelves. The Truffle Factory is a Michael's exclusive. So if you did like that, that piece can only be purchased at Michael's, but that was actually brand new for 2021. So if you go to Michael's online, you might be able to find that item online and pay for it and get that now. Otherwise, they will probably have it in their stores as we get a little bit closer to Christmas time. So Noemi says, hi Miriam, I would like to know, where did you order the pieces? Because eHobby doesn't have them in until August. Can you please let me know? Thank you and God bless you. I think I just answered your question. You can definitely order them and reserve yours so that you don't miss out, and then wait for it to be shipped in August, because there's just no other way to get them right now. Like I said, unless you go through another one of the online websites that sells it all year round. I just find that eHobby is the cheapest distributor. And I love the customer service there as well. So I have been ordering from eHobby for, I think, 5 years almost now, from the first time I made my first order with them. Veronica Val says, OMG, nice. I just hope this year Michael gets more Lemax than last year. Shelves were empty. I see the new buildings are different material made, ? So yes, and yes. Originally, like last year, Michael's in my location also had very little on the shelves. They sold out of all of their Christmas Village stuff pretty much by November, and did not restock their shelf. And so a lot of people, again, were left with nowhere to get their items from if you were trying to shop in a store. So Veronica, if you haven't gone to eHobby's website yet, ehobbytools.com, I highly recommend getting on their website and getting it shipped if you can, because they carry a very large amount of products. And like I said, they also allow you to reserve early, which is a big bonus. So you make sure you do not miss out on those special items that you want to add to your village. So she also asked, are the buildings made of a different material? Lemax buildings are made from a poly resin. I believe they made the switch, and Lemax, if you're watching, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they made the switch to a poly resin material about 3 to 4 years ago. Some of the older Lemax pieces that I do have are more ceramic buildings, but they have been for several years now making their stuff out of like a poly resin. So it allows them to go into greater detail with all of those pretty little details you guys see on the building. That is because of the materials that they're able to use. And it also makes every building, the molds, more consistent, that each one, all of those details will show up like that on each building. So, and they tend to be, just for those of us who can be a little bit clumsy, a little bit more durable that way. So it's good for me. Amy Elizabeth says, yay in advance. She says, I have been buying pieces too, and she's laughing. Are you taking the village down behind you or starting over? Starting over, excuse me. Yes, this village that is behind me will be coming down. I have not yet been able to get around to doing it, but I'm hoping to start next month in July with taking this village down. And especially now that I have my new pieces, I am so excited to get started with putting something new together. I do have a few different ideas in my head. I have not locked down my village layout yet for 2022. So I still am going through that process. So we shall see. But it will absolutely be coming down. So Rose Lawsy says, love your new buildings. They are amazing, Miriam. Can't wait to see them in your whole village. May I ask when you are planning to get your new village going again? And do you have any new ideas you will be adding? Thank you for sharing. Love your channel. Oh, by the way, I am watching your videos from Perth, West Australia, and love them so much. Thank you for watching all the way from Australia. That is so awesome that we are able just to connect like that from around the world. So to answer your questions, I will probably be starting the construction of my new village. I am hoping and shooting for by the end of July. I want to make sure that I can get my entire village done and out of the way before we kick off into our Christmas Village contest season for this year in 2022, which I will also be making announcements for you guys who were not members and on that live stream. I will be making the announcement for those in next month in July to kick off Christmas in July. So that is the plan for me to take this village down. As soon as I get this one down, I am going to begin putting up and designing the layout for my new village. And as far as any new ideas of things that I'm going to be adding, the only thing that I can say for certain that I know I'm going to be doing is a bed and breakfast platform layout. I have got most of the layout for that particular platform designed. It will be next to my vineyard that I created last year. So I want to kind of definitely make them different, but make sure they are cohesive so that they look intentional and well thought out as I built those things. I do know that I want those side by side. So far as everything else, you guys, I am still not sure what I'm going to do. And as a matter of fact, I was thinking about putting a video together of just showing you guys how I gather inspiration when I am designing a new layout and some of the things that I think about when I am designing my layouts from year to year. So stay tuned because I will probably release that video maybe next week. So we'll see. Shirley Edstedt says, question. Do the motors on the animated houses hold up pretty well? We have had serious issues with a couple of our Department 56 motors. I found a guy on eBay who sells replacement motors, but the old motors are just about impossible to get out of the houses without breaking the houses. Now we only use the motion very occasionally, like when folks are over to see the setup. That stinks because sometimes when we buy these pieces, it's exactly for that reason that we buy a particular piece, is because of the movement, to add that life to our village. So I completely understand your frustration with that, Shirley. So far as all of my Lemax pieces, so I bought my first moving Lemax piece 5 years ago. it was the popcorn factory. It is still working perfectly. And ever since then, let's see, I added 3 more moving pieces that year. It was my playground equipment with the teeter-totter and the seesaw and the tug of war. And then the kids making the snow angel in the snow. All of those I bought 5 years ago, and they work perfect. I have never had a glitch, not an issue or any problem with any of those moving pieces. My fountain that I got from Lemax, the motor was running 1 year, but I forgot 1 year and did not use distilled water in it and was just using water from the tap. So the calcium buildup clogged everything up. But what I did was just set in the base of the fountain vinegar and water in there, and it loosened everything up and everything started working perfectly again, just like normal. But so far as all of the other moving pieces that I've had, the carnival pieces are still working perfect, but I've only had those for a year and a half now. But so far, so good. But I have several pieces from Lemax over the past 5 years that I have purchased that are moving, and I honestly have not had any problems with any of them. But I do follow the instructions because some of them have to be turned off by the toggle switch and not by remote. So you want to turn that particular piece off first before you turn off your whole village. If you're operating your village by a remote, turn that piece off manually and then turn off the rest of your village. So some of my carnival pieces are that way, that I've made sure to turn those off by the switch on the actual unit itself. And I've not had any issues. So I hope that helps. I know that might be kind of a short period of time in the 5-year time frame, but everything is still working perfectly. Vicky Handel says, thank you, Miriam. I want them all. Can I purchase these already? God bless you always. So Vicky, we did go over that with how to get those purchased. And thank you. God bless you too. And Sabrina Pelote says, Miriam, thanks for making my day. I am too excited. When can we buy these pieces? I did see this question a lot. So we covered that a few minutes ago when everyone else asked the same question. Everybody wants to know, when can we get these pieces? So Joan Vidal says, yay, Christmas has arrived. Wow, the buildings are amazing. I can't wait to see the figurines. I love your reactions to the unboxing and testing. Now I know that I am not alone. You are not alone. There's a whole group of us who feel the exact same way when we open our Christmas village stuff. When I get new things for my village, I'm like a child on Christmas morning. I think so many of us feel the exact same way. We are just enamored by our beautiful Christmas village creations and what we can end up creating for each particular piece. So the video for the figurines will be released this Friday. So you'll be able to catch that this Friday. Love is Patient says, oh, Miriam, I love them all, but my favorite is the Truffle Factory. Just beautiful. So excited for Christmas, working on things for my village. Thanks for sharing. You are so very welcome, Love is Patient. And I absolutely love your handle name, by the way, because Love is absolutely patient. So Lloyd G says, hi, Miriam. I'm so glad Mom watches your videos too, because YouTube doesn't want to let me know when you have a new post. Anywho, I am so loving the buildings you got. All the movement with the chocolate and bottle factories, the adorable bubble soap shop, the library with the books inside, and don't even get me started on those facades. So many of you love the facades. Wow, they are amazing. Joanne Fabrics used to sell houses. I always went for the unique ones based on size and shape and type of buildings that it was. You definitely have some winners there. Can't wait to see the next video with your figurines and supplies. As always, best to you and yours. Thank you so much, Lloyd, and best to you and Mama Margaret too. Also, just FYI, you guys, if you're having that same issue with Lloyd, if you've clicked on the notification bell and YouTube is still not notifying you, try unclicking it and turn the notification off. Wait 10 seconds and then go back and see if you can click it again, if it'll kind of reset you and send you those notifications again. If it doesn't, what I am trying to do is be more consistent with the days I release my videos. So I'm trying to release a video on Monday and Friday. Excuse me, Monday and Friday every week. There will be some weeks where I do post videos, maybe on a Wednesday or even Saturday if I have additional footage for that week. But my goal is to release on Mondays and Fridays. So if you do have those issues, just kind of check on those days and see if I have anything new. And you might even get surprised and see that there's more if I posted something on Wednesday as well. Faye says, Bubble Boutique and Village Library is giving me pink village vibes. Great for creating specific color themes to match a pink room. My wheels are spinning. Yes. And when you guys are looking at things like this, that building is so super cute, the Bubble Boutique. I love just the whimsical aspect of it. There are some of you who do create villages all year round and are themed all year round. One of you last year sent me a Valentine's Day village that you put together, and it was so adorable. I think that this particular building would go super cute in a Valentine's Day village. The village that the young lady who sent it to me was all like pinks and reds and very floral and green and flowers everywhere. So I think that particular building would do really well in a specialized village. Robin Wright says, I always enjoy watching these new Lemax products revealed by Miriam, especially those facades. Thanks so much, Robin. I really appreciate that. And those facades are awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys. When I went back and I watched the video, it looked good on the video, but the video still doesn't do it justice. They look so much better in person. I am so in love with them. And again, my wheels are turning of what I can create with those things. So I can't wait to just put it together and show you guys what I end up doing once I get it all figured out. So Virginia 4728 says, Miriam, I love every single piece. They are fabulous. I promised myself last year that I would not buy myself a single piece since I have almost 200 buildings plus accessories and no more space to store them. But after seeing these great pieces, I might end up breaking my own promise. They are just so wonderful. Virginia, I completely understand your pain. I had told myself, this is just for me and my personal village requirements, that once I reach the capacity where I store my buildings, I'm going to start going through them and giving some away, because I just cannot. I don't want this to end up becoming to the point where like I fill up this entire whole space with Christmas village stuff. I am trying to keep myself under control. It is so very hard when every year so many cute new things come out. But I do have several older pieces that I don't have boxes for because I bought them secondhand or used. So those are the ones that I'm going to try to like scale back and just keep my stuff that is newer that are in boxes. Because when I first started villaging, I bought a ton of stuff used, a ton of stuff secondhand from like Goodwill or OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace. And so most of the times people were not good with keeping up with their packaging and things like that. So those will be the ones that I probably kind of let go and continue to collect the newer ones, and especially the ones that have the packaging to it. Beachcomber D says, I'm excited. Those facades look so cool. Now I want them for my window village. You were actually who I thought of when I saw this, because I know that we were just recently talking about your window, your bay window and your setup and the train and all of that. And these types of buildings will probably work really well for you since you don't have a lot of depth you're working with. So I'm excited that you like them, because when I opened them, I actually thought of you and thought, man, these would really be good for Beachcomber. So there you go. I hope they work. Shantae Brown says, when I saw those 2 big boxes, my heart fluttered. I was like, what did we get? My favorite is the wine bottling and the cheese factory. Yes. I want to see what else you got. Or I can't wait to see what else you got. Yes. Oh, the wine bottling company. That one is a little bit noisy, but oh my God. Everywhere you look, there are things moving on it, and it is so beautiful and fun. And I did get a different wine bottling company last year to my village. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So I did get this Corkridge building right here, and that is a wine company as well. So I'm going to try to pair those somewhere close to my vineyard this year. So it looks like the vineyard has a couple of different options to sell to those different stores. And last but not least, we have Sharon, nailed it or failed it. She said, I started collecting some pieces last season to start my village this year. I'm so excited. Christmas is my favorite holiday, and I've always wanted to start a Christmas village. Watching you last year started the dream back up. Thank you. Sharon, I could not be more pleased and excited to hear your comment. I love that I can be a part of this journey with you, especially as you're just getting started, because there were so many things. I did not know a single soul when my mother and I started our first village 6 years ago. I did not know a single soul that had ever Christmas village. I had never even heard of Christmas villaging. I had never even seen a Christmas village. So I am so excited that I can help you out along this process, give you good tips in how to get started so that you don't have to learn the hard way like I did over time and just trying to perfect my village. And I'm so excited that you already have a few pieces accumulated so that you can put together a cute little scene for this year. So if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. I have a whole playlist, if you haven't seen yet already, dedicated to Christmas Village videos only. I think the playlist is called Christmas Village Videos and Tutorials, or Tutorials and Videos. And at this point, I think there's about 75 videos in there. And all of them are range from how to build different things, quick tip videos, which I highly recommend that you watch since you will be starting your first village this year. Watch all 3 of the quick tip videos that I have up so far. They are going to give you so many good setup ideas. And also help you with the infrastructure part of setting your village up and the electrical aspect and all of these things that we don't necessarily consider when we're too busy buying all the pretty stuff. And we also have to worry about the behind the scenes stuff. And so the quick tips gives you awesome behind the scenes ideas and things to do that will make your life so much easier as a villager going forward and how to stay organized. So yeah, check out all of the videos in the playlist. There's so much good stuff in there that is directly related to Christmas villaging. So you guys, those are all of the questions and answers and comments. Just to let you know what's coming up, I am working right now on editing the members only video for the month of June. So for all of my members, thank you to all of you who have decided to support my channel in this way. That video will probably be released this Wednesday. And then on Friday, I will probably be releasing part 2 of the unboxing for the Lemax pieces. That is the plan going forward right now. But if anything does change, I will put a comment in the communities tab and let you guys know that way. But that's what you can expect the rest of this week. And I'm so excited to kick off Christmas in July with you guys very soon. It is right around the corner. So until I see you again, stay safe. God bless you, and I will see you soon. Bye.